Hi guys, Vjeko here and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you a very nice tactical problem that happened in the game between Yuri Yakovich and Sergey Dolmatov in the Russian Championship in 1999. So the diagram position is in front of you, and if you'd like you can pause the video now and try to find a solution for yourself. I will give you 5 seconds. Okay, let's check the solution. So in this position, white is invited to sacrifice his rook on h7. It is really a move that your hand wants to play automatically. But in order to justify it, you need to see a lot of long lines in advance. So here we go, rook h7. Black obviously has to take with his king. King takes h7 because the knight is pinned, and queen takes f6. Now, obviously, the white is threatening to move his rook on h1 and then checkmate on h8. So black has to parry this threat, and he has two ways of doing so. The first one is simply to move the king, but in response to this, white simply takes the pawn on d6. And after, now black is lost here, and after the best defense, queen f7, simply queen g5, and he retains all the threats of his position. So the g6 pawn is threatened, and if black defends it with bishop takes e4, then knight e5 introduces another threat, that is bishop c4, and black most probably has to part with his with the exchange, and after queen takes e5, white has a technically winning position. He has two pawns, he has a safer king, and he has some attacking chances. So this is completely won for white. So let's go back. Now, obviously, moving the king is not a good option for black, but queen to g7 is much more resilient, and white had to consider this move and prepare a response before he decided to sacrifice his rook on h7. Now, obviously, if rook h1, simply king g8, and the white has nothing. So, knight g5 is the only other sensible move remaining in this position. Now black has to move his king, obviously, and he has two squares to do so. And the first move that comes to mind is king g8. And here white has a very nice winning move that is not immediately obvious. White can play queen to f4, and now he is threatening to jump with the knight to f7 and then to h6. If black tries to grab this bishop on e2, then simply rook h1 check, king g8, and queen c4 check picks up this rook on e2. So that is not an option. And after some other move, like for instance rook d8, there is knight f7 check, king g8, knight h6 check, king somewhere, and rook h1. And this is completely won for white. Okay. So, going back here, the other option for black is to go to g8, which is a more human way of playing in this position. And here white has to prepare bishop c4 check, d5, the only sensible move, and the point of this puzzle and the whole combination is now revealed, and it is the stunning sacrifice of the queen by rook d5. Now let's check what happens if black takes the queen. If black takes the queen, then simply rook d7 discover check. The point is that if black tries to move his king, he gets mated after either king f8, knight h7 check, or king to h8, rook h7 checkmate. So he has only one way of meeting this threat, and that is rook e6. But now after bishop takes e6, the same threats remain, and black has to part with his queen. He has to take on e6, and after knight takes e6, say bishop g2, rook g7 check, king h8, and rook takes g6, white has a one endgame. He has two pawns more, the c5 is also under threat, and this is technically winning. He just needs to display some precision. Okay. Now, after rook d5, instead of accepting the queen sacrifice, black can try to accept the exchange after bishop takes d5. Bishop takes d5 check, and intuitively this is very dangerous, but it is not immediately clear how white wins this position. So after king to h8, there is this beautiful move, queen to d6. I'm sorry, first knight f7 check, king g8, and now queen to d6. Simply moving the queen from the attack of the black queen, and now there are all sorts of discovered checks in the air. For instance, after king h7, which is one possible move. The point is that now after queen h2 check, king g8 check, and now knight g5 check, king to f8, knight h7 check, and after king to e7 there is queen c7 mate. So black has to part with his queen, and he's clearly losing in this position. So and black doesn't have any other better response, and that justifies that. It shows that the whole combination started by rook h7 was very lengthy, very difficult, but in the end correct. That's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching and for enduring the whole video. If you liked it, share it, subscribe, and tell your friends. And if you're not, share it, subscribe and tell your friends. Thank you for watching this, and see you some other time. Bye!